I've had some firmware update drama. Can you relate?
Firmware, do you dare to update your firmware?
Let's talk firmware and factory resets. Boss has been trying to improve this machine and fix some of the glitchiness that people are experiencing. Have you been experiencing this? To be honest, I hadn't been experiencing the same glitchiness for some reason that other people were talking about, but I heard such good stuff about the new update that I updated from the 1.Clio. I updated my firmware from the 1.04 to the 1.10, and then it kind of broke my looper. Some friends at Boss were even asking me what I was doing when the pedal glitched out. It would glitch seemingly randomly when I was recording loops, playing loops, or sometimes in the middle of the song when I swear I wasn't doing anything. It was frustrating. Cleo! Long story short, after many factory resets and various troubleshooting techniques, I ended up going back to the original firmware, the 1.04. That's what I've been working with for now, and it's been fine. It's kind of a mystery to me that different people's pedals seem to be having different issues. Does anybody know why that is? Oh, so what's the opposite of an update? A down date? Down date. I updated and then down dated. Shout out to my friend Josh Elliott on Facebook, who very generously emailed me the original firmware. Updating your firmware and down dating your firmware is the exact same process, so I'm going to show you how to do that right now.
Firmware, make your show loopy, cause glitches are poopy. Glitches are poopy. Updates and down dates, till your pedal works great.
Firmware. When downloading your new firmware, I highly recommend that you save the old firmware. Make a special folder on your computer and label them with whatever number update it is, and don't delete old updates. Because just in case you have to revert back to an older version the way that I did. Boss has since provided new firmware to update with, and we can always go back to the old firmware.
Firmware!
All right, the first thing we're gonna do, check what version of firmware you have by holding the menu button and pressing power. There on the screen, it will pop up whatever version you are currently using. Next step, make sure you download the new firmware from Boss's website. I'll have a link to it down below to make it super easy for you. Make sure you only use the RC-600 one. Agree to this stuff, click download, and then pull it into that special RC-600 folder that you just made where you have all of your firmware very organized. Oh yeah, it's a zip file, so unzip the file, save that folder. You're gonna need a USB connecting cable that looks like this. See, it has this USB on this side and this USB, and that's the one that goes into your pedal. Plug this USB cord from your computer to your pedal. Once you've plugged it in, press and hold exit while turning on the unit, and it'll say connecting, and then pretty quick it will say connected. Your RC-600 will show up as a drive. So take those files that we just downloaded and click and drag the contents of your folder into your RC-600 drive. When the files finish transferring, properly eject your pedal and look onto the screen on your unit. An update question mark will appear on the screen. Press enter to write and update your pedal. You might have to wait a little bit, and eventually it will say complete. Turn off your 600, and we're gonna check the version now. So once again, hold down the menu button and press on, and there's your version. It can also be good to do a factory reset at this point. Make sure it's a factory system reset. To find factory reset, hit menu, side step to the right 2 times, and there it is, factory reset. Toggle to system and press enter. And since I've done this a lot, let me help you out with some of the system settings that I have had to redo. We'll go over what those are. I had switched the functions of some of my knobs, so I'll show you how to recustomize your knobs, if you like to recustomize your knobs. Click the menu button, side step 2 times, click setup, side step 2 more times, boom, there are the knob functions. You're also going to have to recustomize any of your switches if you've changed them from the default. So to do that, click menu, sidestep once. On the left, there's the control function and your 3 pedal modes. You can customize each of the 9 switches in each of the pedal modes, so make sure you go back and double check that those switches do what you're expecting them to do. Oh, and it's time for a little kitty break. Remember, the switches are numbered 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And that's for all 3 pedal modes. The memory knob that used to scroll through the different channels that you have, I moved it over to knob number 3 because I kept bumping it in the middle of songs and deleting my song mid-song. So scooching it over to knob number 3 was really helpful, and I haven't done it since. Just knock on wood. After a factory reset, you might also want to go in and switch around some of your recording settings. I went into the loop settings, click record, and I switched record play to record dub. And also that's where the quantize feature is on.
Don't forget to save.
Then go play a gig and see if it works. If you've had a different experience than me, let me know down below in the comments. Or if you'd like, you can join my Discord and share your live looping setup, talk gear and equipment with the other people from the community that have done that. And I'll be interested to see if you've had a better experience, if you liked the updates, or have reverted back to an older version like I've done. Does anybody have a review on the new firmware update? I'll let you know how mine goes. I got some real life gigs in Seattle this month, as well as I stream live on Twitch 3 times a week, twitch.tv/Emily McVicker. You can come over and ask me questions in real time if you like, or request a song. And if you do, let me know that you came from YouTube. Please put your questions and comments down below. I really appreciate those of you that have followed me or written me nice messages. It seriously makes my day. And super thanks to my patrons who contribute to my art and music. I'm Emily McVicker. You're awesome. And I'll see you on the next one. Bye!
Firmware, do you dare to update your firmware? Make your show loopy, cause glitches are poopy. Glitches are poopy. Updates and downdates, tell your pedal works great.